Hi, welcome to Social Spotlight. Here we talk everything finance. I am V, your host, and I'm excited about 2024 because, guys, this year, I know this is my year. This is a year where I attract, I do not chase. So you two have got to have the same attitude because together we have to win. But also, in the past couple of weeks, I have embarked on a journey through reading, of course, watching a couple of videos online. And these videos have given me so much insight on finance. And then also it got me thinking that, there are these habits that have been hindering my progress. You know, I want to be a billionaire sometime in my life. I mean, not so far away from now. But today, I want us to delve into a discussion that discusses breaking habits. What are those financial habits that are hindering you and I's progress? And guys, these are real life examples things you probably go through, things you've probably been ignoring. But this year, we are going to have a challenge where we challenge ourselves from January, and by end of the year, we need to assess our progress and see just how far we have come, how far we have grown, and we can have quarterly progress reviews to see how we are doing. Now, today we discuss 7 things here, and please hear me out. And I want you to go back to wherever you are. I want you to practice these things. First of all, as a grown person, why don't you have a budget? Why? As in why? Did you know that if you don't have a budget, you get into mindless spending? Then you're going to get a lot of stress. You have the money, but since you didn't budget, you just find yourself all over the place. Now, let me give you an example. Every time, I usually get stressed a lot. Do you know why? Because initially, I wasn't budgeting. So one of my friends, Godfrey, last year actually taught me how to budget, yeah? One day he just told me get a pen and paper, and together we wrote down all my expenses for the year. We wrote down all my incomes for the year. So he made me promise that I would only spend that which was on my budget. Of course, for the first few months it was tough. But as time went on, I realized that, hey, I can actually live within this money that hasn't been enough for me. So I want you to try the same thing. Secondly, impulse purchase. As for that one, I am a victim. You'll be there scrolling on Amazon, and before you know it, you're ordering for things that you don't even need. Like, for example, why did my friend find herself purchasing, a bathing suit? Girl, you don't even need this thing. I mean, what time do you even have to use these things? This year, I challenge you to try and manage that habit. Thirdly, spending more than you earn. For this one, I know very many of you are very guilty. These issues of wanting to look rich on a small budget. We all know, like, you know that song, Wenafuna kusalare. Please don't be fooled. Some people planned kids. You'll find that the ancestors planned for them. No, for you, they are going with the wind. My friend, please make sure you spend within your budget. Then, so that way you won't get frustrated. Fourthly, saving after expenses. But dear, we shall remain poor forever. We shall remain poor forever. This is a challenge that we're all going to do. First, for every money that you get, make sure that you save 10% off of it. Put it aside. Even you may not have plans for it whatsoever, just put it aside. If today maybe you got paid, or maybe someone gave you a handout, whatever it is, put aside 10% of it. Place it somewhere. It could be maybe in your piggy bank, or on your Momo, or in your unit trust, or in your bank account. Just put it there, and then spend what is left of it. That way, you are having your saving, and then you are only spending that which is left after you've put aside something. And then also debt accumulation. Friends. First of all, don't feel guilty for having debt. We are living in tough times. I read somewhere that 2023 and 2024 are going to be the toughest times we have known economically as a country. I believe the economists that made this research were quite right. I don't know how they got the statistics or how they came about it, but what I'm trying to say here is that you are going to find yourself in situations where you've borrowed from multiple sources, yeah, to fulfill very many different desires and all that. But also ask yourself, what is the reason for which I am getting this debt? Yeah, is it because you're getting a debt to finance your lifestyle, or is it you're getting a debt to actually do something that is very, very important? You have to be very careful. Do not get a debt to pay a debt. Yeah, make sure you come up with a plan to clear off all the debts, friends. This year we have to be different. Yeah, pay off all your debts. Be a responsible person, and also please, when you pay off those debts, try to live within your means. We have already talked about this. And if you live within your means, you'll find yourself not borrowing so much. Because many a times the reasons we borrow, because my friend Gundi is driving an ML, the other one is driving a Jeep, so I also want to live in that standard. My friend, these things have levels, yo. So live within your means. Then no emergency fund. Now, for example, you as an old person, why, in this day and age and era, why don't you have an emergency fund? Emergency funds can do a lot of things in case of illness, in case maybe you find yourself in a situation where you're laid off and then you have to start from scratch. That emergency fund is going to come in handy. In case, your mom, father, or anybody else wants, help from you, that emergency fund is going to come in handy. So we need to drop that habit of not having an emergency fund and adopt one. Lastly, ignoring insurance. Friends, we as Ugandans, we insure in something. It's either we are ignorant or we have just failed to understand what insurance is. But I am tasking you to go back to it wherever you are. Sit down, have a pep talk with yourself, have a discussion with yourself. I don't know if you've already laid out your goals for 2024, but have a discussion with yourself, and in whatever plans you're making, let insurance be part of it. You can start with a simple policy of as low as 5 years. 5 years may look a lot of time, but I mean, it's not so far away from now. What's your plan in the next 5 years? Can it include insurance? You can start with a policy that pays as low as 250,000 per month, yeah? So for these 7 items, friends, we are going to challenge ourselves. We are going to have evaluation sessions every quarter to see how far we are progressing, to see just how far we are learning and relearning some of the things that we think we know or those that we do not know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and looking forward to a great year where we are winning together. Cheers!